Hey anglers, it's been a while since we've done a video, so I figured we would take out some of our walleye and pike bait and see if we can go through some of the lures and baits that we like to use when walleye and pike fishing. So I'm going to go through, first of all, some of the hard baits that I like to use when fishing for walleye or pike or any other predator type fish. A lot of times white bass, largemouth, smallmouth fall into this category as well. First thing I'm going to go through are some of the hard baits that I like to use. You'll notice with each of these baits that I've got a couple different colors. Some of the common themes you'll notice are the perch, a fire tiger, a silver color, or a gold color, or even a white or a shad. The other thing you'll notice is the different bills. So I like to have a variety of baits that go different depths and dive different depths and sizes as well. I got some of the deeper diving crankbaits, I've got some of the more shallow, and I've got some larger original Rapalas to some smaller ones. A couple that I'll kind of point out here are the flicker shad. This one is one of my favorites, especially walleye trolling. A lot of times when we throw these out, we can catch walleye, catfish, crappie, and bass all on the same bait. The colors I use the most would be the fire tiger, the white shad, or the black and gold. Another one that I like is this X-Wrap. For whatever reason, these X-Wraps have always seemed to produce for me, and this is kind of one of my go-to baits. Color hasn't really been anything of real importance for me on the X-Wraps. It just kind of seems like if the X-Wrap is working, it's working. One of the newer ones is the Ripstop. Haven't used this one yet, but I'm pretty excited to use it in the shad color here. Next, I'm going to go through some spoons. So spoons I haven't used a ton of for walleye, but it is a great bait to use when pike fishing or even muskie. So you'll notice with the spoons as well that I've got a couple different color schemes, you know, with the perch, the fire tiger, the silver, the gold, and also the classic Coca-Cola type style. A couple different sizes as well, and you know, the spoons are pretty straightforward, but it's a great bait to have in your collection. Next we'll go on to the soft baits. So with the soft baits, I like to have some swim baits, some twister tails, tube jigs, etc. Colors still kind of similar as the other baits, you know, white, chartreuse, leech patterns are okay. And I even threw in a little pink here as well. With the tube jigs, I like to use a jig that goes inside the tube body itself and vertical jig the tube jigs. Twister tails, great to use. If I can, I like to use the X-Zone Plastics twisters. They have great motion in the water, and pair those with the Roadrunner jig heads. The extra blade of the Roadrunner always seems to give that extra attention to trigger a strike, and that's just kind of my go-to jig of choice. Another thing to use would be a leech presentation of some sort. Excuse me. If you're doing some drop shotting, I like to drop shot for walleye just like I would bass, and this is great to have in a drop shot technique. So if you haven't tried drop shotting for walleye, try using a leech presentation of some sort. Last but not least, I'm going to go through a couple, I wouldn't call them oddballs, but kind of singletons that I like to use for walleye and pike. So we've got the lipless crankbait, or a rattle trap type style, just real aggressive vibration as well as motion in the water. You notice you got that silver pattern there, so nothing too fancy. Rip and wrap. Great thing about the rip and wrap is you can use it in a variety of styles. It's great to cast in the open water, can catch you a variety of fish, but it's also great during ice fishing season in a vertical jigging presentation. And kind of along those same lines is the blade bait. So this is in a white chartreuse pattern. Can be used to vertical jig during ice fishing season, or to cast out and kind of bounce it along the bottom, rocky bottom, or bring it in real fast. The other great thing about these are these clips that give you a couple different styles to retrieve it and different motions that go with it, so you can experiment with those. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to ask questions, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Tight lines.